You know, when I listened to your opening statement, and if you're paying attention to the Army-Navy game, one of the things that happens after that hard-fought 60 minutes is that the loser stays on the field, and they listen to the alma mater of the victor being played. Now, that's what you're talking about. We can have a hard-fought election, but we have to remember at the end that we are still Americans, and those young men are going to go out and they're going to fight together on the battlefield, being as Navy sailors, as Marines, as Army soldiers. And that's the true essence of America's game, the Army-Navy game. But go Army, beat Navy.
All right, so let's talk about what's going on this week. President Obama says, you know, it's a month after the election. He says, you know, there is evidence that you know, we suspect. Where is it? Yeah, the intelligence community has already probed suspected foreign intervention in the election, and they concluded that Russian-backed actors were likely involved in breaching and releasing Democrat DNC emails, and therefore I want a study by the intel community. Does the intel community have any credibility? Haven't they been politicized by this president in one issue after another?
No, you're absolutely right. And also in this week, President Obama sat down with a gentleman from another cable news network, and he talked about how the intelligence radar screen did not allow him to pick up the fact that ISIS was growing. So on one case, here's a president that says in these final 42 days, he wants the intelligence community to go and investigate Russia potentially. I mean, we have no proof of this being involved in our electoral system, but yet the greatest Islamic terrorist group, the greatest scourge that we have seen on this earth, he is admitting that he had no sense of it. He had no intelligence reports that allowed him to understand that that was happening, which we know is not true because he was not taking those intelligence briefs. So I don't see how you can have it one way and want to investigate the Russians, but yet this week you say that you could not even understand, or you were just completely caught off guard by the emergence of ISIS.
And what is really amazing is that if he had already concluded earlier that they were involved, why didn't he get involved earlier? You know, if Hillary Clinton's emails were, you know, being, released, DNC, John Podesta, and all the damaging information, he was silent during that whole time. And we would have to assume, by the way, that Julian Assange is a Russian agent, yes?
Well, one of the things we need to understand that it was President Obama, along with Hillary Clinton, that came up with the Russian reset button. It was President Obama in an off-mic moment with then Russian President Medvedev, who talked about how he would have more flexibility after his re-election. Absolutely. And it is President Obama, or rather Hillary Clinton, that we know through the Clinton Foundation. They were cutting uranium deals with the Russians, all for the benefit and the profit of the Clinton Foundation. So why are we looking at these things? This is all about undermining the election that we have had. And just the same as I said, the score for the Army-Navy game was Army 21, Navy 17. It was a hard-fought game. But you know what? It's over now, just the same with this election. So we should not have a president on his way out seeking to undermine the president-elect.